with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got the visiting team facing the home team. Now the starting group for the visitors. Isaiah Thomas out there with Harden. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Anthony. And it's Davis in at the 4. Now here's Ginobili. Shot clock at 6. The pass to B. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Davis.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. Both good from the line that time. Now, here is Harden. Turned in an outstanding game against New York. And Thomas, here we go. Here's Cousins. And Nocioni pulls it down. Outside Scola. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. His 3-pointers off the mark.
You know, Anthony Davis, seen as a defense-first superstar when he was drafted out of Kentucky, but his offensive game has really blossomed so much that you'd say it's defense now where he still can really improve.
Stepped in the line, out of bounds there, and that will cost them the possession.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Thomas against Ginobili. Thomas kicks to Cousins. Thomas against Ginobili. Thomas passes to Cousins. And stolen by Scola. Ginobili with the ball. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. To the paint. It's tipped and stolen by Cousins. And here comes Thomas leading the fast break. Here's Davis, and he misses the fast break layup.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
Kicks to Ginobili. Passes it to Scola. Back to Ginobili. Shot clock at 6. And he lays it straight in.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now, here's Thomas. He had a 15-point outing in the last game against New York.
And Isaiah Thomas, traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston, seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Greg, you were talking about Isaiah Thomas. He had no love lost for the Suns. In their first meeting, he took them apart, Clark, on the floor. Remember that game? Stared them down as he was hitting shots, looked at that bench. Man, he had a big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and you know, most guys that are a little undersized and have battled doubters all their careers bring that kind of edge anyway. You throw in the fact that he was disappointed how the trade unfolded. He was amped up and ready for that return visit.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Now here is Davis, and he gets it to go. Davis has got his first bucket of the night.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Ginobili dishes to Nocioni. Scola kicks to Ginobili. That doesn't go either by Ginobili. Greg, you're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals, given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
B, he's guarded by Cousins. Scola kicks to Ginobili. Scola sets a screen for Ginobili. Back to Scola. That falls. Nice feed that time from Manu Ginobili. Scola's got his first points in this one. Outside Anthony. Davis setting the pick for Anthony. The dish to Cousins. Here's Davis. A beautiful reverse layup. Now Ginobili. He feeds it to Nocioni. Taken away by Anthony. Here's Davis. Oh, that's blocked. To the right side. Campazzo. He's guarded by Thomas. Campazzo loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
And Davis puts it in.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Now the feed to Nocioni. In the corner, it's Ginobili. Nocioni passes to B. Here's Scola. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
And for Luis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career, then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
Gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Campazzo, he's guarded by Thomas. Inside, B. Anthony Davis grabs the miss.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Now here is Davis. He had 16 points in the win against New York. Cousins with a screen for Harden. Anthony in the corner. Releases from 15. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
They get it back.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And yes, sir, that one drops. Cousins has got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Pass to Prigioni. Campazzo, he's guarded by Thomas. Campazzo hits it from three-point range. 5 points in the game.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Thomas kicks to Harden. Cousins with a screen for Harden. To the middle. Oh, he misses the dunk.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Pass to B. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And now the 2K leaderboard, a list of the teams that have rebounded the ball tremendously over the last 10 games.
What a show of strength in terms of rebounding. I mean, they've really controlled the glass here of late, playing with some extreme physicality.
No good on the free throw, so both teams making some changes here. Good on the second free throw. Here's Thomas. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Kicks it out to Harden. On the wing, George. That's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Prigioni, the pass to B. To the left side wing. The 11-footer. No good off the back of the rim.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
And Thomas, here we go. And it's blocked. And that goes out of bounds. And they retain possession. Lopez with the steal. Inside, here's Valencia. It's rebounded by Towns.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Karl Anthony Towns didn't come into the previous year as the most highly touted prospect, Clark, but his play last year at Kentucky would change that.
No question about it. People knew he was going to be good, Kevin, but you saw him being this good. He showed he could do a little bit of everything as a Kentucky big.